He found his son. He was in prison. A police officer was arresting a young man. He was shocked when he realized who it was. It was his son, the son he had never met. But how did this happen? Well, let me tell you. A man got married and had a son. His wife left him when the boy was just a baby, so he had to raise his son all by himself. He worked as a police officer and was often busy with work. He loved his son more than anything, but he couldn't spend much time with him. He hired a nanny so that his son wouldn't be lonely. But when he came home from a long shift at work, he would often find the nanny passed out drunk on the couch. One day he came home and found the nanny with a broken bottle in her hand and blood all over her clothes. The boy was nowhere to be seen. When the police officer called the paramedics and the police, they found the boy in the closet. He was covered in blood and had a shard of glass in his hand. The medical team rushed the boy to the hospital, but he didn't make it. The police officer was devastated. How could this have happened? Who could have done this to his little boy? The police investigation revealed that the nanny had taken the boy to an ATM and withdrawn a large sum of money. Then she had taken him to a secluded house and killed him. She had hit him with a vase and then stabbed him several times. The police were able to catch her and she was sentenced to life in prison. The police officer was overcome with grief. He felt like he had failed as a father. He had been too busy to take care of his son, and he had left his son in the care of a drunk and obviously unstable nanny. He buried his son and made a promise to himself that he would find his son's killer and bring them to justice. Years went by and the police officer became a famous detective. He was known for his ability to solve the most difficult cases, but he never forgot about the case of his son. One day he was called to a prison to identify a body. A prisoner had been found dead in his cell and the police suspected it was a murder. The police officer looked at the body and his heart skipped a beat. It was the same young man who had been arrested. He looked at the face of the dead man and he saw his own son's face. It was his son. But how could this be? His son had been killed years ago. It turned out that the young man had been in prison for a crime he didn't commit. He had been arrested because the police had mistaken him for his father's son, the real killer. The police officer was heartbroken. He had failed to protect his son and now he had taken an innocent man's life. He retired from the police force and spent the rest of his days searching for his son's killer. This is a tragic story, but it also has a happy ending. After the death of the young man, the real killer was finally brought to justice. The police officer was able to find peace knowing that his son's death had not been in vain. If you enjoyed this story, please share it with your friends and family. Thanks for watching.